Hi, I'm Sharon Garrell, Policy Advisor for Housing and Diversity Issues with Illinois Realtors. April is National Fair Housing Month, and in anticipation of this, I recently sat down with Cristina Headley, an attorney with Equip for Equality. We talked about many issues related to fair housing, such as things landlords and property owners can do to make their properties more compliant and accessible for people with disabilities.
It's important to make sure the housing search and the application process is accessible. I recommend that agents and their clients, make sure that the information is available to people looking for housing in accessible formats. For example, they can provide that information in large format on their website. In addition, make sure that the website is compliant with the web accessibility guidelines. That makes sure that software can be used effectively to make that content accessible. That software can make print available and increase the size of print on websites into large print, and it can also convert that print into speech or braille. In addition, agents and their clients should educate themselves on how to effectively communicate with individuals with disabilities. For example, the video relay service. That program allows people who are deaf or hard of hearing or have a speech impediment to speak in live time over the phone. So people using that system should expect a delay in response, and also should keep in mind to communicate with the individual with a disability and not with the interpreter. Lastly, agents and their clients can explore the possibility of using an ASL interpreter for meetings.
And what does ASL mean?
ASL means American Sign Language.
Okay. What type of modifications should a landlord be thinking about in their properties and their buildings on making their properties more accessible?
Property owners can do some basic maintenance around the property to make sure it's accessible. For instance, looking at the sidewalks around the property, that they're free of debris and that they're in good repair. Making sure they have reliable snow removal service in the winter. In addition, if the building has an elevator, make sure the elevator consistently works. There are also, some low-cost modifications that a property owner can make to a building to make sure that it's more accessible. If the building's only entrance has stairs, explore the possibility of installing a ramp. Make sure all the stairs have sturdy handrails on either side. In addition, if the stairs to a property are very steep, explore replacing them with wider and less steep staircase. They can also install a non-slip padding on the stairs. They can also look at the doorway, modifying the door knobs to include a lever handles or a push plate. Explore the possibility of installing an automatic door. In addition, for individuals in wheelchairs, if a building has an interior and an exterior entrance, but that area between them does not allow much room for a wheelchair to move in, explore the possibility of removing that second entrance and installing a sliding door.
Okay. Now, what about when they search for the property? We talked a little bit about realtors being able to make their services more accessible. What about the property search itself, when a landlord or a realtor may write a listing for the property?
Yes, it's important to make sure that these accessible features of a property are made known to individuals who are looking for them and can benefit and need them. So property listings should include this information on these accessible features. There are sometimes boxes that the property listings can check that show that they're accessible, but the descriptions of the property should also include what these features are.
Okay, and highlight and showcase the fact that the property is accessible. That's great. So now let's talk a bit about cost, because while some modifications might not be complicated, they may be costly. Are there places that people can go maybe to look at grants or other types of assistance to be able to make the properties more accessible and make those modifications?
Yes, there are private organizations as well as local, state, and federal agencies which provide assistance to property owners who are looking to, make modifications to increase accessibility. These different programs, though, do have different eligibility requirements. I recommend that a good basic place for people to look is the Illinois Department of Human Services website. It has a listing of all programs in the Illinois area.